Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Hey, you are on. Welcome to episode 28. You are on with Mondays with Coach Rice. I am your host, Coach Rice, your professional certified life and health coach and trained mental health counselor. And today we're going to dive into a powerful topic. It's how to build resilience, conquer challenges, and overcome the trap of complaining. We all are facing difficulties in life, but how we respond to those makes all the difference in the world. In this episode, we're going to explore how to strengthen your resilience because we have the ability, we have the actual gift of resilience, but how do we strengthen the resilience that we have, and why I'm gonna also talk about why complaining actually holds you back. It actually takes away your level of creativity because it puts a damper on your level of thinking. And we're gonna also I'm gonna also share practical strategies to shift your mindset so that you can move forward, because people are going through a lot right now, believe it or not, but it's something that we don't often talk about unless we are complaining about it. Have you ever asked yourself, like, how do I move forward through adversity? Adversity is happening, but how do I move forward without complaining so I can exercise resilience? That's the key. And it is not to negate the fact that it's happening. It's really, how do we walk through that? So I want to give you 7 ways on how resilience empowers us. I want to also give you 7 negative effects on complaining, and also want to give you 7 ways to shift from negative mindset to one that's of empowerment, because that's going to be key. I call it the power of 7. So let's define resilience, okay? I know most people know what it is, but I do want to reiterate that, and discuss. I want to discuss what it is and why it's crucial for personal growth and well-being. This is going to be something that's going to be encouraging, because, and like I told you, I always talk about stuff that I've been through or going through or dealing with, so that's helping me so I can help others. So resilience, it is the ability to adapt, bounce back, and thrive in face of adversity, because you can't really define resilience without having adversity, right? It's not just about surviving tough times, because we all have that ability to do that, because we do adapt. But it's about it's about using those experiences to grow stronger and more capable. That's what it's really about. Using those, like, what did I learn from this situation that I can take with me moving forward? That's what it's really all about. We must take on a mindset. And I want you to really hone in on this statement I'm about to make. You must take on a mindset that this is happening for me, not to me. I'm going to say that again. This is happening for me and not to me. The reason why I say that, because if I say it's happening for me, it places me in the posture of expecting it, of exploring what I need to learn, versus playing the victim. That makes sense. So if I say this is happening for me, I'm in a posture of exploring with curiosity, what is it that I need to learn, and I'm open to learn in the situation. But if I say it's happening to me, then I'm playing the victim, like, woe is me. And when I'm in a state of a victim mentality, I can't think because it shuts me down because I have nowhere to go versus dealing with it. So I want to give you, let's talk about the first 7, the first power of 7. How does resilience power us? So I'm going to give you 7 ways. Number 1, adaptation to change. Instead of fearing the unknown, you will see change as an opportunity to learn and grow. That's how you want to see change. You want to see change as an opportunity to learn and grow. This adaptability allows you to thrive in new situations and environments because you stepping into something that's different, and that's what's causing the shift. But if we do have the ability to adapt. So adaptation to change is number 1. Number 2 is overcoming setbacks. When we face with setbacks, you are likely to bounce back quickly. But you want to use this experience as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. It will help you focus, keep your focus, clarity, and calmness during these challenging situations. So you have something that dumped into your lap. You did not expect it. It happens. It could be a layoff. Let's just use that as an example. It can be a layoff. We can look at a layoff in different ways. We could say, oh my God, they did this to me. That's the victim mentality. Or we could say, you know what? Number 1, God is our provider. Our steps are ordered by the Lord. We may make the plans, but He ordered the steps. He also owned everything, and He would not withhold anything good from His children. So if I'm laid off, that means that He wants to share me with another part or group of the world. But I'm asking myself I have to first adapt to what just happened. But I have to say, what is it that where's my next journey versus, oh my God, what am I going to do? They did this to me. And then I'm going to go into the next position with this victim mentality if I'm not careful. But if I look at it with the facts in a different viewpoint, in a perspective, I'm going to say, you know what? Hey, I have the skill set. I can go get another job, and I can actually figure out how to move from here to here, because when you're in that situation, you don't have time to sit in the corner and cry. You have to get up and move on. And so when you look at those stumbling blocks over, them setbacks, it's a setback. Yes, it is. But when you look at it as, okay, let me bounce back, but how can I take this to the next level? Rather than sitting there and pout about it. Now you have more focus, clarity, and calmness because the situation is challenging. Number 3, being optimistic, having that type of outlook, like I was saying. You have to look at it in different ways. You get to choose how you look at it. But ultimately, how you look at it is going to determine how you move in it. I'm the type of person that I believe every job or position or whatever I do, I'm walking in allowing Jesus Christ to lead me. Now, if something happened that I did to myself, then I have to learn and say I won't do that again. But if it's something that I didn't do and something happened like a layoff and that's beyond my control, then I look at it as He want to share my gifting with somebody else in the world. He just shifted me and moving me in a different direction, versus me looking at it as, oh my God, what am I going to do? And panic is not a good thing. And so we want to find meaning in the challenges that we have. That's how we look at it in an optimistic way. So we want to find meaning. How do we find meaning in this situation? Resilience fosters this positive mindset that allows you to find meaning in the challenges rather than being overwhelmed. Stay motivated, optimistic when times get tough, but you have to find out, how can I find meaning? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't believe that God will place something in my life, a burden, without a purpose. Because he loves me so much, he's not gonna, it's just like you having a child, right? You want to teach your child, some parents want to teach their children a lesson, not to hurt them, but to help them. And I think that I believe God the same way. When in my life, he wants to give, it has to be meaning behind a challenge that I'm having, because there is purpose in everything, and that there must be a purpose in why I'm going through what I'm going through. Either I did something I shouldn't have done, or I have to learn something to go to the next level in my life. And that's how you find meaning in the midst of challenges. And I'm preaching to myself, because right now I'm dealing with a challenge that I know is for my good. That's the interesting part of it, is you got to know, is this for my good, or am I supposed to learn something in this? What is this that just came upon me? Because it's not just happening just to be happening. God got a purpose for everything. Number 4, self-efficacy. What that is it's a concept that's used in the psychological world. It's a concept that refers to an individual's belief in their ability to successfully execute the actions required to achieve the goals or handle particular situations. In other words, it's like, it's showing you your ability to overcome obstacles, basically. And when you have a strong sense of self-efficacy, your belief fuels actions and motivates you to move forward. If you believe you can do it, you're going to run with it. And so that's the level of self-efficacy. And that plays a big, huge role in what we do. So a resilient mind, it builds hope and confidence in empowering you to believe in your ability to overcome the obstacles and achieve the goals, because you can do it. And you get a chance to see what you have inside of you, what you really, really capable and made of when you are looking at it in a optimistic way, or you understand what you can do. But if you got this woe is me mentality, you're gonna have a low self-efficacy, and that's gonna ultimately affect how you move through the challenges that you're facing. We all gonna face challenges. That's just nothing we can do about it. But when we face them, we have to learn, how do we move forward in them. Number 5, emotional regulation. That is gonna be so important, because when it comes to resilience, it involves that ability to be able to regulate our emotions. Like, we want to prevent being so overwhelmed that it take control of us. When we're not able to regulate our emotions, it affects our relationships. And we can't maintain balance. The biggest thing is we can't make sound decisions under pressure if we're not emotionally regulated. So that's going to be key. Try not to make decisions, real, very important decisions when you're under pressure. Try to be careful when you're making those decisions, that you're not highly emotional in a knee-jerk reaction. I promise you, I am the poster child for this, and it never worked. The knee-jerk reactions never work. You have to sit back and you have to say, what is it that I need to do in this situation? And do not do that knee-jerk reaction. By managing your emotions well, it will allow you ability to maintain your healthy relationships, supportive relationships, and make practical decisions. So we have to be careful how we make our decisions in a moment of severe pressure. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm starting to say, just don't do nothing until you know what to do. Do the next best thing, but not a knee-jerk reaction, or just hold off and wait. and see what decision you need to make. Because when you sit back and say, wait a minute, what do I need to do? You start to see a whole lot clearer than you do when you sit down and think about it, okay? So number 6, there's growth in that adversity. Believe it or not, it is. You heard the scripture, all things work together for them who love the Lord and called according to his purpose. We may have trials and tribulations, but there's a purpose in it. And it's always God wants to elevate us. He wants to show us. He wants to take us to the next level. But taking us to the next level may require a little adversity so that we can remove some old bad habits. Some habits can't go into your next level. We want a huge growth in business, but in order to have that, he got to deal with some of these bad habits. That's what he's doing in my life right now. He's like, wait a minute, I want to grow. I have things. I have a plan for you, but we got to remove some of your bad habits. And so I'm so grateful to him that he's actually doing this to me. Do it feel good? No. But I'm embracing the growth, the level of growth, because resilience, it turns adversity into a learning experience. Each challenge becomes an opportunity for personal development, and it increases wisdom and strength for future challenges. And so I know he gave me a vision for the business to grow, but he's actually, right now, he's actually pruning me for the process, for the future. But in that, while he's doing it, I'm feeling the brunt of it, but I'm also embracing the grace of it. When I was taking care of my mom, I feel like he did the same thing in that season. Some people experience significant growth after major life challenges. That's what happened to me when I was taking care of my mom. I experienced a tremendous leap, a serious growth spurt. And so going through that allowed me to be able to, it really laid the foundation for transformation. That's what happened to me. And I believe this is what's happening in my season right now. He's laying the foundation that's going to allow me to transform in the person he wants me to be in this next stage of my life. And I'm truly grateful, although I promise you it do not feel good. But I am grateful. And I know it's him, and it's good. You know how you exercise in the beginning and you soar and it don't feel good. You really don't want to go back, but you have to go back because it's not going to be sore after a while. That's how I feel, if I can explain it that way. But number 7, long-term success and fulfillment is what resilience brings. It helps us to stay the course toward our goals, even when we have those faced with significant obstacles. That's what it's doing. I still have a goal. I still have a plan. God still have a plan. I'm walking in it because I know he's in it. I have that faith of a mustard seed that I'm holding on to move forward. And I know he gives every man a measure of faith, and that's what he's given me, that level of faith. And that faith can take me far. And so by overcoming these challenges, and growing from them, I can build the life that I can live in my purpose and meaning that he want me to bring to other people. And so this resilience is an inner strength which enables us to not only survive what we going through, but it's a powerful tool that transform us into an opportunity to learn and grow and transform us into the person he need us to be in that next season. So just embrace it and learn and figure out this is a course I'm taking. And when I finish the course, I can move to the next level. And so look at it like that. That's why I say you have to look at it like that. So those are the 7 ways on how resilience empower us. And now I'm gonna take you into this one because this is big. This is big because the power of perception shapes your reality. Your perception shapes your reality. So when you choose to see it as a opportunity to learn and grow, you do unlock so much potential that's in you that don't be afraid to see that. That's the thing. We have so much in us, but if we're not willing to go through trials and tribulations, we're not going to understand what's really on the inside of us. If we can't change dysfunctional behavior, we can't grow because it's really not helpful. And so we end up, if we're not careful, with this trap of complaining. Complaining can be so harmful to us because when we get in the habit of complaining, number one, it drains your energy. You call your friends and you complain to them. They tired of you sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. They tired of you complaining because you're gonna do the same thing because you can't grow when you complaining. So you're gonna keep doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result, but calling your friends and complaining, getting on their nerves, and you're not moving. It drains your energy, other people's energy, and it definitely will prevent you from growing. So it's like a feedback loop of negative energy, negativity that focus our mind on a problem versus solutions and keep us stuck in a cycle of frustration, and we can't move. That's the bottom line. That's why people get stuck. So I'm gonna tell you the 7 effects of complaining. So I want you to hate complaining. It's not an easy thing to get out of because we're so accustomed to the first thing we do is want to complain. But it does have negative effects, I'm gonna tell you, on our physical health and our mental health, as well as the relationships around us. So number 1, complaining causes stress and anxiety. Constantly focusing on the negative aspects of life increases our stress levels, leading to heightened anxiety. Complaining keeps us in a state of negativity, and it exacerbates the feelings of helplessness and worry. So we want to make sure that we be careful with that. It lowers our overall mood and emotional well-being and can lead us into this, levels of frustration, even depression, and reinforce negative thinking patterns. Because habits are hard to break. This is a bad habit that you want to break. You don't want to hold on to that habit because it's not serving any purpose in your life, right? So we want to make sure that we pay attention to that. Number 2 would be negative impact. It's a negative impact on our brain function. And, when we engage in constant complaining, it alters the brain structure to reinforce negative patterns. It makes it easy to default to negative thinking, reducing our cognitive ability and flexibility and making it hard for us to see any positive solution that may be in front of us. So that's why I'm really pushing this part really hard, because I want you to really hate complaining like I do. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I don't even want to see myself do it. That's how much I hate it. And then number 3, increase negative bias. What do I mean by that? When we complain and reinforce the brain to go into a negative bias, it's going to make it difficult for us to focus on positive experiences. We always go to the negative because that's what we patterned our mind. We really literally pattern ourselves to do that. And so it stops us from moving forward and thinking. It skews our perception. It makes the world look like it. When I say it increases your negative bias, it makes the world look very hostile and unfair more than what it really is. It can be that way, but it really puts a level of heightened view of it where we like the world is unfair, the world is not safe, everything is bad, and you push all of those emotions on other people, and that's where it can be detrimental to your relationships. Number 4, complaining reduces our problem solving ability. I mentioned that before, because we focus on the problem, we never can see the solutions if we continue to focus on the problem. So we need to figure out how to problem solve in an area where we have an adversity, and things that you can't control versus what you can't control. Where you're not spending your energy on what you can't control, but you actually going into what can I do about this situation to help to maybe learn more, or figure out how to get out of this situation. Or if I can't get out, then I have to go through it, and how can I go through it in a way that I'm learning? You really are in that position when you get out of the complaining aspect of it. Complaining causes physical health problems because of the stress and the negativity associated with the complaining. Will lead to physical issues such as like high blood pressure. It weakens your immune system. I don't know about you. I've gotten so stressed at a point in my life where I ended up sick because it weakened my immune system. And it causes chronic illnesses if you into a long-term stress response. Constant complaining lead to stress. So it definitely has an effect on the body. A lot of autoimmune diseases are due to stress-related adventures. Number 6, complaining strains your relationship, because people who complain a lot, you really see their relationships do suffer, because constant negativity would drain, like I said, it'll drain others, and people want positive. It's nothing wrong with going through sometime, but every time you complaining all the time, every day, all day, and ain't doing nothing about it, people get tired. You find out phone calls ain't as frequent as they are, and so you want to reduce that level of complaining, because it puts a damper on your relationships, because it drains the person you complaining to. I promise you, I know. So number 7, it really hinders your personal growth. So complaining, you get stuck in this victim mentality, and it's discouraging. You start to your behavior start to change. You get this negative behavior. You're walking around with a frown sometimes, or you just don't want to be bothered. You isolate. That stops you from growing. It shuts down your creativity, and you can't see the personal growth that's inside of you. So you lose all of that by complaining. So we want to understand the negative effects so we can shift away from that habit towards a positive, solution-focused, oriented habit or level of thinking, So how do I shift from a negative mindset to an empowered mindset? So I'm going to give you 7 ways to do that. Number 1, you have to be mindful and aware that you are in the state of complaining. So you have to notice that you're complaining and what triggered that complaint, that level, that habit. You got to understand what triggers it and what is your stress reaction to it. Because if you don't know how it's making your body feel, you're not going to pay attention. So you want to be aware of, number 1, I'm complaining. What triggered this complaint, and how does my body feel while I'm complaining? And that's when you notice, that's when you can make the shift, and you will start to feel different. Trust me, your body tells you everything. Don't underestimate that. Number two, shifting your focus from problems saturated to solution focus. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, ask yourself, what can I do to improve this situation? No matter how small, you can break the cycle of negativity and move into resilience, but you just have to figure out what can you do to improve the situation. You do it at your jobs all the time, and it's innately done sometimes. Like, oh, I know what to do about that, but when it comes to your personal life, we get stuck. We don't know how to problem solve. So we must shift our focus. Number three, I would say this, practice this. They call it the 24-hour complaint detox. So it's challenging you to take 24 hours. If you're a constant complainer, challenge yourself and take a detox. For one day, you have to make a conscious effort not to complain, but but you have to do something with it. You have to figure out what am I grateful for? When you open your mind up to what I'm grateful for, oh my God, you start seeing all type of solutions. You start seeing all type of things. You start to notice your mood shift and your energy levels go up and your interactions with people change. So you want to try that. If you're a constant complainer, because sometimes you're in a habit of that. That's a habit that you want to break. The 24-hour complaint detox works, I promise you. It works. Reframe your thoughts. You want to do that. Number 4, reframe your thoughts. What does that mean? That means that I'm going to take this particular negative thought and I'm going to reframe. First, I got to figure out what is the negative thought. But then I want to take that thought and turn it into a positive, actionable way. For instance, instead of like, this is too hard, I'm going to say, this is challenging, but I'm capable of finding a solution. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to just say, oh, this is too hard, or I can't do it. No, I'm going to say, yes, this is challenging. I'm acknowledging that it's challenging, but I'm also saying to myself, I'm capable, because we are capable of a lot more than we think. Number 5, the power of gratitude. I cannot push this enough. That is the antidote to complaining. When you can focus on what you're grateful for, it trains your brain to look at the positive versus the negative. Even in difficult situations, I'm doing that now. I know it works. It's amazing. You get to see God's perspective versus your own perspective when you step into gratification. Powerful tool to use. And it's so underestimated, but it's a very powerful tool to use so you can move forward in your thinking. Number 6, you want to build a supportive environment, because encouragement go a long way. Surround yourself with people that uplift and inspire you. Anybody that's going to bring you negativity, you don't need that. You can do that on your own. A supportive environment, it reinforces resilience. It really trains you to how to focus on your growth and deal with the setbacks that may be happening in your life. But if they can't help you with the setbacks, what's the point? That's not a healthy, supportive environment. You really do, because sometimes things happen in your life that's beyond your control, but things happen in your life to help you grow. People don't understand, because I'm gonna be honest with you, it don't look like you growing. It look like you moving backwards, but you actually moving forward, and people can't see that or understand it. It ain't for them to understand. It's for God to show you where you need to be. So if you don't have a supportive environment that can help you go through that, if you don't surround yourself with people that uplift you, it's gonna hinder you in a way that is not gonna serve you. So you want that supportive environment. One of the greatest things you can ever do, and this is number 7, this is the overall function of how you do all of it. You gotta pray. You pray and you ask God to help you shift your mind from fear to faith, because that's all it is. It's fear to faith, because number one, you stepping into an unknown zone. Fear, you don't have enough information. God said, if you ask me for wisdom, I'll give it to you. So you go to God and ask him for wisdom so he can show you what he need to show you, so you can step into faith and move away from fear. Because fear is just saying, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do with this. I need more information. That's what fear is surrounded by, a lack of information and understanding. So you go to the Lord and you ask him for it, he'll give it to you. And that's how you do that. So that's pretty much what I want to encourage you to do, because I'm telling you, everybody has moments where they go through adversity. Get away from complaining. Find out what is going on, why it's happening, what is the purpose for it in your life at that time, so you can move forward and grow, so you can get out of the bad habits that you may have, or move into the next level that God wants you to move in. So I just want to definitely encourage you guys to do the 24-hour detox. No complaining. Step into gratification, so you could change your perspective, because perspective is everything. So share your journey with me on social media using hashtag building resilience with Coach Rice. Let's build resilience together. Thank you for listening to Mondays with Coach Rice. I hope this subject helped you, because I'm telling you, I'm walking through it, and I promise you, all the things I'm telling you to do in it is working for me. It's working, and I'm watching it go. I'm watching it. I'm not gonna lie. It's even though it's a struggle, I'm enjoying the journey, because I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning what I'm capable of. I'm learning a whole nother level of relationship with the Lord. You know, sometimes if you want to see him as your provider, sometimes you got to go broke for you to see him as your provider. If you need healing, you want to experience him as a healer, sometimes it causes you to have to be sick. But it gives you a chance to see he's with you, he loves you, he see you. That's what I love most about the Lord. He see me. And that's important. And so I want to thank you for listening to Mondays with Coach Rice. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Until next time, take care of yourself and your relationships. I am signing off. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Monday. And 10 o'clock, I'll be back on again with WSAN Radio. You don't want to miss that. That's going to be a great one. Talk to you soon.